Hi, I'm Hazel Hill. I'm 11 years old and I'm in 6th grade and I go to PCS. I will now be presenting you Cinderella by Lorraine B. Bates. Once upon a time, when a story starts, once upon a time, it's a fairy story. Once upon a time, there was a very rich gentleman who had lost his wife. He had loved her very dearly. So he married again, hoping it would make him happy again. But it didn't. His new wife was a holy terror. She was always out of sorts. She had her nose turned up so much it got a permanent wave in it. She had her mouth down on both sides like this, and she could look straight right through you like this, as if you weren't there at all. Along with the stepwife, came her three daughters, and they were just as bad. And again, they had more time to get worse. The very rich gentleman had a sweet little girl named Ella. She was just like her own mother. He hoped his new wife would love her, but she didn't. She hated this pretty little girl and her pretty little ways. So she made her sleep in the attic on an old straw bed and do servant's work. But Ella did not complain to her father. Instead, when she was done with her work, she sat at the chimney corner. One day, the stepsisters walked in on her, and she had cinders all over her face. That's when they called her Cinderella. As prim as she was 100 times prettier than her sisters. One day, the king's son was throwing a ball for all the big shots. The prince has never heard of Cinderella, so he invited the stepsisters, and they primped and they pranced for weeks ahead, but they broke more than a dozen laces trying to give themselves a slim waist. When they were done, they stepped into a beautiful coach, and before they left, they said to Cinderella, "Would you like to go to the ball?" And Cinderella said, "Yes, but you're laughing at me." "Yes, folks, you would laugh to see a cinder maid at the ball." So when they were done laughing at Cinderella, they then got into the carriage and rode away to the castle, and Cinderella sat soft at the chimney corner. Then out of nowhere, a fairy godmother appeared and asked Cinderella, "What is the matter?" And Cinderella said, "I want to go to the ball." And the godmother said, "Be a good girl and I shall make you go to the ball. But first, bring me a pumpkin from the pumpkin patch." So she did. And then the fairy godmother scooped out the insides and then struck it with her wand, and lo and behold, a beautiful golden carriage appeared. Then we need a driver. That rat in the trap will do. She touched it, and now you have a jolly old driver in front of the coach. We need some horses. The 6 mice in the cage will do. So she tapped them with her wand, and there were 6 beautiful gray draped horses right in front of the coach. Then those 6 lizards will do perfect footmen behind the watering pot. She touched them, and then they became handsome, livery 6 footmen standing right behind the coach. Then the godmother asked, "Are you happy now, Cinderella?" Cinderella said, "Yes, but must I go on these rats?" She touched her with her wand, and boom, her cloths, ugly rags, became into beautiful clothes. And then when she was stepping into the carriage, the godmother then remembered, "Wait, you must be back by the strike of 12. And when you have returned, or if you don't, you will return as you were." So she came back. So she promised and rode away. And when she got to the ball, everyone was silent. Even the orchestra stopped playing. And the prince fell in love with her instantly, and her heart sank. She was so lost in time, she forgot what time it was. And when she heard the clock strike 12, she ran in the